Hello, backgammon fans. This is Mark from the Portland Metro Backgammon Club. I hope you enjoy this match as much as I did. This is a match that I played against Max at the February meetup for the Portland Backgammon Club. Max was, down from Seattle, and so I was lucky enough to get to play him in our first round of the tournament. So here we are. We're off to a roaring start. Let's see, I got a 2-1. Go ahead and hit on the 5-point, which is kind of important, and then come down to have a builder. Max hits back and then hits me again. So I've got 2 on the roof. A roll of 5-2, which lets me get them both down, which is great, but I didn't hit him, so that's too bad. 6-4, he can cover and hit, or he can just come out with the 6, and that's better to just come out with the 6. It's a pretty close thing. 6-3, I can point on him, so that's really lucky for me. He gets a 6-1, lets him anchor up, which is really lucky for him. Now I get a 2-1, and so I can make that golden point anchor, which is really nice. So then I get a 6-1, he makes his bar point, and now there's a little bit of a pause. Somebody came up and was looking at something. Okay, so 5-2. So here, I could bring 2 down, but then the midpoint's completely stripped. I can't really play the back checkers. I could run 1 out to the midpoint, but that's not all that good. So I ultimately find the just 11-4, which is the best move you can make there. 2-1, so he brings 1 down and steps it forward just for lack of anything better to do. He could have played the 6-4 with the 2, but then the 1 is terrible. So double 1s. So I make the 4-point immediately and then step up, but I'm actually down in the race, so stepping up's a little bit wrong there. 4-2 lets him kind of just move things forward, safety the blot. 5-4 brings 1 down, so I've got a little extra mobility inside my board. 2-1. Okay, comes up finally. Not a great roll, so he just sort of shuffles things forward. And now we I don't know if you just saw that tiny little glitch because there was somebody came up and I edited something out of the video. First time doing that. Double 5s is my first blunder of the game. So I want to make the 3-point, so that much is clear. So you want to play the 8-3, but instead I play 13-3, but actually you want to keep the midpoint and bring the 2 checkers forward, and I'm immediately punished for it when Max gets double 1s and is able to put me on the roof. Doesn't last long though, so I come right back in. He gets a 2-1, and so there's not a lot he can do with that, just sort of moves it forward. I get a 3-2 here, which doesn't let me escape, so it just sort of moved things forward. Max gets a 6-5, so he just goes ahead and moves off of the midpoint. Not bad. 6-1 is now a little bit of a problem, so I want to cover, obviously. But I want to cover from the 8-point. The 8-point's not doing me any good anymore, and so I'm playing way too loose by coming out there. So Max is able to exploit that, hit me, put me back on the roof immediately. 3-4, I'm back in, but then now I've got a little bit of trouble. Max throws the cube. So I'm going to stop here and think about the race. I'm obviously down in the race, but it's actually not that bad. The race is 100 for Max to 114 for me. So my racing chances aren't terrible. And I did the count and figured that out and went ahead and took it. So then Max rolled a 3-2, lets him come forward. 4-3 lets me just slot the ace point, which is about as good as I can hope for. 6-2 is now where things start to get a little bit kind of what do you do? So he's having to just move forward. and I can hang back and hopefully get a shot, except nope, I got double threes, which means that I can't escape any of my back checkers, and my board just goes to heck. So um, move everything forward and regret my cube decision earlier. Even though it was the correct cube decision, it's not working out for me. So now 6-1. So he's looking at just breaking the bar point or possibly just bringing one in, but breaking, actually playing 12-6, 2-1 would have been the better move here, but he went ahead and broke the bar point. So then that tricks me into making my next blunder. So I should stay back and just sort of like clean up my board, but instead I try to make a run for it and am again immediately punished for it. He got double threes, puts me on the roof. I've got a 5-point anchor. That's all I've got, and I dance. He gets a 4-2, which lets him clear a point in the outside, and so now I really need a 5. But not like that. So, okay, now he gets a 5-6. He's able to get past me. I'm in terrible shape. 3-1. I dance again. He gets to go past and not leave a shot on the 6-point, which is like all I can hope for at this point. 2-1 lets him just clear a couple, take a couple checkers off, still leave all of his structure in place. I dance again. 4-3, so he can clear the 6-point now, which is like the right thing to do just for safety's sake. And I get a 6 at last, so now it's just a question of can I save the gammon? So he's taking checkers off. I've got to get mine off of his home board to save the backgammon, so that's great. Now let's see, what do I get? Oh, I need a big number, 5-3. That's at least one crossover, so that's not really that good. 4-2, he gets 2 off. 5-2, I get one crossover off of that roll, so not too good. It's looking pretty bad. I'm going to need big numbers here. I'm going to need to roll on the board in order for it to count. 2-1 is a really small number, so I'm basically down to needing double sixes, and I don't get them. So that's it. Max wins the first game by a gammon, and we're on to the Crawford game. So it's not an auspicious start to the match for me, or the day for that matter. I mean, this is the first match out of what hopefully is going to be at least 3, because we have an 8-person bracket. But instead, I'm down 4-0, looking like it's going to be a short day. Oh, and I probably could have edited this part out too. And this is Max showing me a cube decision he had in a chouette up in Seattle the day before, where he had correctly taken a cube and then lost a backgammon. So ended up, I think he was playing like 4 or 5 people. So it ended up being a very expensive take, even though it was mathematically correct. So commiserating with him over that bit of misfortune, to make me feel better about the misfortune I've just had in the first game, I guess. So anyway, on to the second game. We're off 2-1, not a big roll, but it's, at least I can play it safely. Double fives. He ends up, this is not a good roll for him. He ends up being very far forward with all of his checkers. At least he's up in the race until I roll the double sixes. So now, like, I'm in a pretty good position. Like, if this was not the Crawford game, I could be almost doubling depending on how this roll goes. So 4-1's not a great roll, lets them like come in and split, but excuse me. So anyway, I can't double because it's the Crawford game. Double fives again, just continues to just sort of like, so now his back checkers are completely separated. And so like I'm in really solid shape. This would be a double pass if I could double, but I can't. So 6-4, I just, give up his bar point because I don't need it. 3-2 is a really good roll for him. There's a great bit of luck that he can anchor up. So now I've got a 3-1, and I can make a blocking point 6 away from that point. So that's really helpful to like try and contain him on that 3-point. Let's see, we're up to my 4-2. So this one is a little bit challenging of a roll. It turns out like I'm looking at several different things, and like the top three moves are all within like 0.004. So it's like hard to mess this one up. So I was thinking, is it important that I did, anchor up? I didn't want to stack up on that point that I just made that's 6 away from him, because then like I have to clear that point eventually. And so that's kind of what I was thinking about. It was like, how do I move it in a way that makes it easier for me to just bring the rest of my checkers in eventually. And so like really what I need is some like flexibility on the position so that I'm able to like hit him if he rolls a 5 again, besides double fives, and comes off of his anchor. So probably again, probably if I had spent more time thinking about editing, then I probably could have like edited out some of this, because I think somebody came over and was asking questions or like reporting results again during part of this. So yep, I can see I've got a piece of paper moving off to the right-hand side of the screen, which means that I'm doing something not related to this game, and then I have to turn my attention back to the game and then go, okay, what the hell's going on? Oh, right, I'm on roll. I rolled a 4-2. What do I want to do? Things have been sitting here for like 7 minutes now. Okay, so I just play it, and on we go. Max rolls a 2-1, so just kind of shuffling things forward again, trying to get some flexibility, hopefully making some more points on his board. 4-1, it's minor imprecision in that one, but again, it doesn't matter too much. 6-4, so I've got the 6s blocked, so he's having to play it in, and now his board's starting to crunch, which is like what I'm hoping for. And now, again, somebody's come over and is telling me something or whatever. Okay, 2-1, so all right, not a lot I can do with that. I can continue to stack up on that point on the outfield, but I don't want to. I want it to unstack, so I play it that way. Max rolls a 5-4, which is, an opportunity to escape. That would be a bad idea. So Max just plays it in his home board, which is correct. I roll a 3-2, which, again, I could actually clear the 6 point with that, but it's still, or the point that's 6 away from him, but it's still serving a function right now, so it's better to keep it. So spend a little bit of time thinking about it and just go ahead and play it to the bar. Max rolls a 6-1, so his position is well and truly crunched. He's got now 5 checkers on the ace point. Okay, so I get a 6-3. So that's a good number for going ahead and clearing one outside point. I was a little reluctant about that because I wanted to like not have the bigger gap between my outmost point and where his anchor is. So, but now he broke his anchor, which was forced. He couldn't play both the 6 and the 5 on his own side of the board. And now a 4-3 does not let me point on him, but I can hit and cover. So that's pretty good. And so that's what I do. And luckily for me, he misses. And a 3-1 lets me cover, and then the 3 is kind of less important, but yeah, I probably should have moved it off of the 10 point there. 6-4 lets me just go ahead and get off of the 10 point now. It's a little bit stacked, but whatever. Double ones, so gets in, and I'm not sure why he made the outside point. Doesn't really serve him much good at this point. So I go ahead and hit him. It's an ace-6, which, I've got the full prime, so that's fine. And now I get a 5-4, so I'm in with the 5. I can't hit with the 4, unfortunately. Then the question is, what else can you do? You just have to run. So I eventually reconcile myself to that. 4-3, he just plays it in. I roll a 4-2, so I could hit him off of the bar point, but then that's a little too loose, so I just bring it around. 3-1, he keeps crunching his board. Double threes, so now I go ahead and just close him out. So it didn't really matter how you did it there, but that got a pretty lucky roll. So now I'm starting to just take checkers off. All I have to do is roll careful and not leave a shot at any point. So it doesn't matter too much if I actually win the gammon or not. It's just, since I'm 5 away, I'm going to either be 4 away or 3 away, and it kind of so if it's 4 away, then I'll double immediately and he'll have a free drop. But if it's 3 away, then I'll double immediately and he won't have a free drop. So it kind of doesn't matter so much. Next game's going to be either a game or not a game, and so he goes ahead and concedes here. Or no, actually, that was Dave coming over and making the move for him. So he did actually concede after that roll. So on we go to post Crawford, and so now I am back to having a chance at life here. So let's see, get all the checkers in the right place, get the cube back on the board. Max rolls a 2. I roll a 4, so that's a good opening roll for me. Max rolls a 5-3, which helps, I guess. So I go ahead and double, and he ought to drop, but he just goes ahead and takes it this time. So 3-1, I'm able to make another home board point, and so I'm in a very solid shape now. 5-1, so he brings one down and splits. 6-4 lets me point on him, so now I'm completely out of checkers on my side of the board, but still pretty good. 3-6 lets him come in and then come out, but it's a question of which one do you come out with. But instead he comes down, which is an error. So double 5 lets me point on him again. So my dice are incredible on this game so far. 5-6 he dances. 6-4 I'm able to hit him, and I bring one down so that I can start to prepare to attack that last checker on my ace point. 2-1 doesn't do that. So then I end up stepping forward. It's a slight imprecision there. Double 1's beautiful roll for Max. Comes in and hits me on the bar, and then goes ahead and makes the bar. Why not? You could make the 5, but okay, yeah, that's actually better. So he comes in and makes the 5, and I get a 4-1, which lets me run to the midpoint, which is good. Max gets a 6-3, which lets him hit me. So he's thinking about, should I do something else? Because, I've got a 5-point board, and he's got a 3-point board, but he goes ahead and hits me, which is wrong, but worked out for one roll at least. 4-2, he manages to cover, and then just brings one down. Double 1s for me lets me enter, hit, and step. Was that? No, that was 2-1. So it lets me enter and hit. So that's still very, very good. 6-4. I can't make the bar because it's needed a 6-5. He got a 1-6, just incredible shot. Goes ahead and hits me, puts me on the bar, and unless I enter on this roll, then all of a sudden Max has got a great opportunity to turn it around. So I dance, of course, and he rolls a 5-3, which mysteriously doesn't hit me. And it's like, how did he find the one roll that doesn't hit me? He hits with 1s, 2s, and 6s. Instead, he got the 3 and the 5. So, I guess he could have also rolled a 4 and missed me somehow. But anyway, lucky shot for me there. 5-2, I should have just gone ahead and come out, but instead I brought the checker down. So And then Max gets a 4-3 and is able to make the complete counter prime in front of me. So prime versus prime position, but I'm in better shape because I've only got 2 back, and he's about to crunch, and double fives crunched him faster than even I was expecting at that point. So as long as I can get checker out, then I'm in good shape. 6-1 lets me do that. So Max rolls a 3-2, which just brings 2 more checkers in. So, all I have to do is get that last checker back around, and, as long as he keeps those checkers on my ace point contained, then I'm moving forward towards victory here. So 5-2, or go ahead and bring one in and the other one out, which is correct. Max rolls a 3-2 and is able to make a 5-point board again, so he's in pretty good shape. 6-2 lets me come around. Again, slight imprecision in how I played that, but not a big deal. 3-1, so now he's gone down to a 4-point board. 6-1, I bring it in and unstack, so I'm in, oh no, double sixes. So now we were joking around about this one. Is it saying, oh, I've got to, can I avoid doing what I look like I have to do of coming out with 1 to the midpoint. And I was joking about, well, you could leave 1 back. And so, that was the only real alternative for him. This is the correct play, and as long as I don't roll a 3, then Max is in pretty good shape. So I rolled a 3 just to try to win the game. And then the question is, with the 4, do you come down or do you slot, and or do you just step up? So I went ahead and came down. So now he needs a 1-2 or a double 1. Instead, he gets a double 4. I rolled double 1s myself, which doesn't let me bring the checker in. And so then the question is, what do you do? And so, yeah, just shuffled everything forward. Max rolls a 4-2, dancing again. And now I roll something that comes in. Double 6. Yeah, that definitely comes in. And I was like, oh no, all it does is get 3 checkers off and bring my last checker in. So, okay, 3-2, he dances. 3-2 for me. I just took 2 off, but I should have remade the ace point so that he would be forced to come in behind me. Instead, he came in with an ace, so I was punished again for having done that. And so now double sixes doesn't work as well this time, because now I leave a shot. Fortunately for me, Max missed, and so then now I rolled a double 1. So this one had a little bit of pause on, like it's like trying to think, maybe there's some way that I put him on the bar and remake the ace point, but no, not really. So just go ahead and play it straight across and put him on the bar that way. He re-enters right away, but behind me, so in really good shape. Max needs big numbers and needs me to roll small numbers in order to save the gammon, but instead I roll double 4s. There's the handshake. It's a fast-paced game, a lot of fun. I enjoy playing Max, and we both played pretty well. So thanks for the game, and hope you enjoyed watching it.